Welcome to the Success Library. Thanks for joining. Drop a comment, share your thoughts, and let us know which book you'd love to see next.
Episode 18. You'll Change. Why Long-Term Plans Must Leave Room for Growth. Here's something most people forget when building a financial plan. You're not going to stay the same person. Your dreams will shift. Your values will evolve. Your definition of enough will change. So why do we build financial lives like we'll always want the same things? In this episode, we dive into one of the most overlooked truths about money. You will change, and you need to build room for that change into your plans, or you'll feel trapped by your own decisions. Let's start with a big question. How much of what you wanted 10 years ago still applies today? Think about it. 10 years ago, maybe you wanted the flashy car, the big job title, or to move to the city. But today, maybe you want peace, or space, or time with your family. This isn't failure. This is growth. Morgan Housel writes, "Long-term planning is harder than it seems because people's goals and desires change over time. In other words, planning for the next 20 years is like trying to write a script for someone you haven't met yet. Because that's what future you is. Someone you don't fully know yet. You might still love some of the same things, but priorities shift. And that's okay, as long as your financial life allows it. The danger comes when people lock themselves into a rigid path. They choose a career based on salary, not lifestyle. They buy a house that requires them to keep earning at a high level. They save for goals they're not even sure they care about anymore. It creates a trap. You grow as a person, but your financial obligations force you to keep playing the old role. That's why flexibility is underrated. One of the smartest things you can build isn't just wealth, it's optionality. The ability to pivot. To say, this no longer fits, and I can afford to choose differently. Let's break down how to do that. Here are 5 ways to build financial plans that honor your growth. 1. Avoid overcommitting to fixed goals. It's okay to save for the future, but stay loose about the form that future takes. Save for freedom, not just a house or retirement at 45. 2. Don't build a lifestyle that requires staying the same. If your current expenses only make sense if you never change your job, your city, or your values, that's a risk. Build room to adapt. 3. Say no to things that reduce your future flexibility. That might mean skipping the luxury car lease or holding off on the massive house. It's not always about deprivation, it's about choice. 4. Check in with yourself regularly. Every 6 to 12 months, ask, are my financial goals still aligned with who I am? If not, adjust. 5. Learn to value change. Changing your mind is not weakness, it's growth. Don't be afraid to evolve. Just make sure your finances don't punish you for it. Let me tell you a quick story. Jacob was a hardcore entrepreneur, built a business from scratch, lived on hustle. By 35, he had made it, but then something shifted. He became a father. He didn't want 80-hour weeks anymore. He wanted afternoons free, time for music, slower days. But his whole life, his house, his image, even his circle, was built on the old version of him. It took him years to unwind that identity and pivot toward what he really wanted. He told a friend, I wish I hadn't built such a rigid version of success. I didn't know I'd change. That's the lesson here. Future you might not want what current you wants. And that's not a problem, unless you've built a life that makes it impossible to shift. Money isn't just about buying things. It's about buying time, buying options, buying space to grow. Here's the truth. If your financial plan doesn't leave room for the fact that you'll evolve, it's not a strong plan. It's a box, and sooner or later, it will feel too small. So don't aim for perfect. Aim for flexible. Don't just ask, will this plan work if everything goes right? Ask, will this plan still work if I change my mind? Because you probably will. And when you do it, you'll thank yourself for leaving space. In the next episode, we'll take a raw and honest turn into Morgan Housel's own mistakes. That's right. The author lays it all out. His regrets, missteps, and what he wishes he'd done differently. Get ready for some powerful confessions and even more powerful lessons.